1:45. 12:45 is time over there in Nashville. So there you have it with that. Do want to mention, we will also, why don't you do this? Why don't you take your radio out or your iPhone and listen to www.jetbroadcasting.live. And at that point, what you'll be able to do is click on the icon and listen to not only the Fox Sports Radio Network, but our call, my call specifically, of Unicoi County at Sullivan Central Baseball. They'll be playing a doubleheader. It's been a rough year so far for both teams as the Blue Devils check in with an overall record of 6-10. Jack won out in Bluntville before Strother becomes an outside linebacker. We expect in the second game of the doubleheader, Peyton Whitson, who struck out 14 batters his last time out, to go up against the Cougars. And it will be, I guess, one of the last times Unicoi time. Next year is the last one, is it not, for Sullivan Central? As this will be not only a chance to listen to Whitson, but a chance to listen to a game against Sullivan Central for, if you don't get it this year, you'll have one more chance, which is 5 to maybe make some moves on their counterparts. Elizabethton leading the way with a 7-0 record, followed by Sullivan East, who has defeated Unicoi County before, but only one game ahead in the loss column. 6th place. Sullivan Central is in 5th. They are 1-7 in the conference. So there you have it. These games will be brought to you by everyone's favorite dentist, Dr. Jason Cunningham. Unicoi County Gas Union Jones Relay for Life of Unicoi County. And so those are our sponsors of Unicoi County baseball this year. There you have it. Beginning again, it's pushed back to 1:45, but I will tell you that by at least one writer of Sports Illustrated to win the Stanley Cup. This that writer's first name is not shown. Here I want to make a celebrity out of Nelson. Kristen Nelson is the writer. The Blues in that series. I just think they're hotter. But you got the Predators in a big goalie matchup with the Stars. Then defeating... I'll read what she wrote here. While the Lightning are tempting, because that's who she has playing in the Stanley Cup Finals against the Predators, I believe too much in the curse. And then in the second round, they lost to the Jets after playing for Lord Stanley's Cup the year before. Season's been up and down, to say the least. But the Predators finish on a hot streak and are looking for some redemption for how... All right. Here are the other predictions. Jeremy Fuchs has the Lightning defeating the Golden Knights. Lightning, with the President's Trophy, are the favorite, and that's who I would go with. Alex Pruitt likes the Lightning defeating the San Jose Sharks. Dan them defeating the Lightning. Does anyone not have the Lightning to win the Stanley Cup? His name is Eric Single. And this is surprising to me because the Maple Leafs are one of those cursed franchises, like the Cleveland Indians, like the Cubs once were. The Maple Leafs haven't won the Stanley Cup since the days of the original 6. But then again, hey, the Blackhawks have won it in this decade 3 times, and they haven't won the Stanley Cup since this year now, did they? Duncan Keith's getting a little long in the tooth, I guess. Anyway, Single says that the Leafs will be the first postseason in which their entire young core can drink in either country the games are played. Seems like a bizarre prediction to me, doesn't it? Toronto's last first-round exits have been knockdown, drag out, and whenever it all clicks. Stay with me, Leafs fans. This team is going to make a big playoff leap in a hurry, so why say this? Very few teams, even with their lack of success over the years, very few teams are supported as well as the Toronto Maple Leafs are, even as cheap as they've been over the course of history, last 50 years or so. If you go to Toronto, you will see, even in the middle of summer, people wearing Maple Leafs gear. Let's just say at least as much as people around here will wear Tennessee Vols gear. Okay, just middle of the summer, you will have to hunt to find a Blue Jays cap. Toronto Maple. I went to Sarstock, what was it now, 16 years ago. I could not believe. I was like, middle of summer, everybody has a Maple Leaf. I saw one, we drove past a sports memorabilia store, a baseball card shop. They had a Blue Jays logo on their sign. I'm telling you right now, in all of Toronto, that was the only thing that I saw that said Toronto Blue Jays on it. I was stunned. It was all Maple Leafs. And we kept... Sorry. Anyway, but no, that, love affair with team in town, it doesn't get much better, if better at all, than Toronto and the Maple Leafs, even as bad as they have been over the years. By the way, Single have the Maple Leafs beating the Predators. So maybe with the Predators being so hot, questions about P.K. Subban, Peke Rene, the power play. Well, the power play came in big in a season finale. Preds putting it all together? Hey, Oregon beat the Penguins 3-1. Stars series and who's going to win the Cup with Alex Doherty, A to Z Sports Nashville at 1:45. Now, the thing that the Predators will have to worry about in winning the Cup, and let me get to this right here, you've got to look at the concern. They're still not a great defensive team, at least not in the opinion of NBC Sports' Adam Gretz. Is basically, let's see here, the feeling basically is that, you've got a goalie, though, even though he didn't have a great year, always seems to play his, I just wonder, that sort of thing. So it's sort of like, all right, there were a few shortcomings, but what about this? That sort of thing. Anyway, I do think the Predators are playing well. I know that I'm not making much of a statement right there. Then again, I'm trying to read what has been written right here. Everybody was talking about the Lightning winning the Cup and what could prevent them. Lightning, the idea is, can they do it? Can they get over the hump? Steven Stamkos and company. They couldn't get over the hump from Pittsburgh 2 years ago. Can they get over the hump now? That's a big thing. By the way, I gave my predictions now between the Pens and the Islanders, and I really am, I was thinking about this, and boy, it's system versus stars. What with the Islanders and Barry Trotz last year in Washington, why he isn't the coach there now. And, of course, the Penguins, what with Malkin and Crosby and, Matt Murray and company. I'm kind of leaning Islanders. And I guess I'll tell you why, as well as some Masters predictions. That's coming up soon. Tri-City Sports Now will be back after this. You're listening to 1420 WEMB Sports Radio.